Now to a story straight from death row and an inmate who tricked a serial killer into confessing details on way more victims than authorities ever knew, then taking that information to a former FBI investigator to try to solve cold cases that had haunted the families of the victims for decades. Tonight, that death row inmate turned informant is here with us in the studio. But first, here's a little more background on that case.
Joseph Naso, he is the one accused of killing 4 women over a 17-year span.
Investigators found pictures of nude, dead women in his Reno home.
For decades, serial killer Joe Naso used the promise of fashion photography to lure victims to their horrific deaths. Convicted of 4 murders, suspected of 10. Now at age 91, he's serving life in prison on death row.
Before we get started with Joseph Naso, I do want to talk about William Noguera. He's actually who I really want to talk about. Joseph Naso has been convicted, but William Noguera's story is, damn, like this guy beat the death sentence. He was convicted back in '83. He was convicted for murdering his girlfriend's mother. He was sentenced to death in 1988, and he spent decades incarcerated in San Quentin. That's where you met Joseph Naso. And over time, he developed a reputation of a serious artist. He was a fighter, martial arts. And he finessed fucking Joseph Naso. For like 10 years, he was there acting all buddy with him. Every day, he would write down whatever he was talk to him about the stories. Because he had that famous list, you know, that one from Joseph Naso. They were only able to convict him for 4 murders. But with the help of Noguera, he actually fucking basically, I guess he got another chance at life, and he beat the fucking system.
Former inmate turned criminal profiler William Noguera. Guys, thanks so much for being here. Bill, I have to ask straight out, how many of these cases, 26 potentially here, how many of these cases do you think you'll be able to solve?
Oh, a great many of them, because we have the information on these cases. We're working with law enforcement right now. They're interested in these cases, and there's a lot. This is just scratching the surface.
And it wasn't like it was a full-on confessional. I mean, you were working on him for years, right?
For a decade. From 2013 to 2023, I worked on him. I took notes every time I spoke to him, and he began to really feed everything that he knew. And that was dates, times, locations, bodies, everything. And ultimately we discovered, or I discovered, that he had actually killed 26 women rather than the 10 that law enforcement thought. And they had only solved 4 of those cases, actually 6. So that's what this show is about.
Some of these cases go back to the 70s, 1970s, so they're really cold cases. They never got to figure this out, so Noguera just ran in to reach out and give closure to the families. That was his main goal, he says. But he reached out to the cold case Ken. He's been dealing with cold cases for years, so he's actually retired, and he actually went back just to solve these, and they got the info on it, and he was doing everything through jail. He spilled the beans. He took advantage of everything. He made good friends with him back in prison in San Quentin. They were both on death row. But the crazy part is that this guy actually got out of death row. And it's not because, I mean, it seems because he helped out the cold case. It's not really because of that. He got it overturned after doing the 42 years. He got like special circumstances and time served. And they overruled his without parole. And they gave him parole, and they tried to deny it, and they tried to reverse it, but they challenged it, and he ended up eating it.
New tonight at 5 o'clock, the trial of accused serial murder suspect Joseph Naso started today. He is the man charged with murdering 4 young women and dumping their bodies on the side of the road. Cameras were allowed in court for the beginning of this trial. As Crown Force Teresa Estacio reports, during opening statements today, some members of the jury wiped away tears.
Here in Marin County, during opening statements of accused serial killer Joseph Naso's murder trial, prosecutors presented graphic graphic photos of all 4 victims. They had been left naked on the side of the road. The photos of their decomposing bodies were so disturbing that some jurors looked away, and one fought back tears. This is Joseph Naso, the 79-year-old former photographer charged with murdering the women. At times, he smiled while prosecutors presented their case to the 6 women and 6 men on the jury. He also appeared smug. Naso is representing himself. A public defender you see here sitting next to him is offering him some legal assistance. Besides crime scene photos, prosecutors showed excerpts of what they call Naso's rape diary, where he allegedly chronicled sexually assaulting several women. Cameras were not allowed to show evidence being presented.
So, Joseph Naso is the serial killer. Who is Joseph Naso? Let's get some little background on him. So basically, he's a father, a photographer, and a Little League coach. But behind the lens of the suburban facade lurked one of California's most chilling serial killers, a man whose victim shared a haunting pattern. He was known as the double initial killer, like Carmen Colon.
This is a picture of all 4 victims presented to the jury. Prosecutors also talked about how DNA evidence found in pantyhose used to strangle victim Roxanne Rogash is a match to Naso.
Main thing, he worked as a freelance photographer, often using his possession to lure victims. All women whose name began with and ended with the same letter. So the famous list that they found in Naso's house, it was with 10 victims. The girls that those are his 10 favorites. Those were not even all of them. So it turns out there's 26. He had murdered up to 26 people. So Noguera, he worked with he reached out to a cold case investigator, Ken Maines, to explore and verify the claims, and then Ken's got on it. Ken Maines, the cold case investigator, man, he went on it and he took all the notes that this fool William Noguera took, and he helped him out while still in prison. So this happened in 2023, 2022. Joseph Naso was originally convicted in 2013 for 4 murders. So from the 4 murders, he stayed there, got his death, but now they're trying to bring him back to him, and they're trying to convict him, and they connected him to the other victims. But yeah, it was a lot of work, and it's all thanks to William Noguera.
That a serial killer convicted in Marin County 12 years ago may be one of the nation's most prolific.
Joseph Naso now claims he killed 26 women. That's according to a new documentary coming out next month.
Yeah, the I-Team's Dan Noyes will appear in that program as the only journalist ever to interview Naso, and he's here with the very latest on a really disturbing case.
The father of 2, a Little League coach and school photographer, also took pictures of women who appear to be dead, including some of his 6 confirmed victims.
Looks are deceiving. That comes with direction. When I ask somebody, I say, hey, I'd like to take a picture of you looking deceased or unconscious, and this is what you do. You lay back.
Why do that, though? I want to understand, why is that appealing?
I don't do that every day. I mean, I do that very little, and that's a sensual thing. I've seen that's been going on.
A dead woman is sensual?
No.
I asked Naso about a piece of paper investigators recovered from his Reno home, the list of 10. During trial, investigators identified 6 of his victims from that list, and I grilled Naso about the other 4. He wrote, girl near Healdsburg, Mendocino County, girl on Mount Tam, girl from Miami near Down Peninsula, girl from Berkeley.
Who are those women?
You tell me.
I don't know.
You know.
Know.
I'll tell you.
You tell me.
I don't know.
You're still playing games.
No. Ask the prosecution. Ask the judge. I don't know.
This motherfucker was sick in the head, dude. Like, if you listen to this fool, I mean, I guess they found the evidence in his house, all the pictures, and then all this type of torturing devices and things that they found. And they saw the pictures, and it looked like nothing but dead women in there on the pictures. And he'll take them while they're like butt naked, I guess. He was like fascinated with that. So like he'll trick them to come, and he's like, I'm gonna pay you for this modeling, and then he'll end up killing them. And he had more than hundreds of photos, like hundreds. That shit shocked the fucking sheriffs that went in there. And like, look at this sick motherfucker. This motherfucker's like, and he's trying to say that looks can be deceiving. Like, motherfucker. Fuck with that. It's sick in the head. He's like necromaniac, whatever. Necrophilic. Shh. Crazy.
Betrayal on death row.
Convicted serial killer Joseph Naso claims we shouldn't believe a former death row inmate who says Naso admitted to killing 26 women.
IT reporter Dan Noyes is the only journalist to have interviewed Naso. That was in 2013, and he's back with more on their latest conversations, Dan.
Dan and I had a lot of contact with Naso when I covered his trial 12 years ago. He received a death sentence for killing 6 women. I wanted to talk to him again after that fellow death row inmate uncovered new evidence of what appear to be Naso's many other murders.
You have a prepaid call from Joseph Naso, an incarcerated individual at the California healthcare facilities.
The past year in prison has been rocky for convicted serial killer Joseph Naso.
I'm not doing too good. I'm in bad shape. I broke my hip. Did you know that?
After he got moved from San Quentin's death row to the men's colony in San Luis Obispo, Naso told me an inmate pushed over his wheelchair.
Trying to have surgery. It's really hard. I can't walk, can't stand up, spend most of my time in bed.
The 91-year-old has also been getting new attention from law enforcement agencies around the Bay Area.
I had the FBI contact me to see if I could help them with a cold case. And I said, well, what's in it for me?
Naso tells me the FBI wanted information about one of the victims on his list of 10 that investigators found in his Reno home during a parole search. He tried to make a deal.
The guy says, you know, I do something for you. I help you with a cold case. You do something for me. And I want a reversal of all my convictions. And she said, no, that's not going to happen.
Naso is facing new scrutiny after a former death row inmate chronicled 10 years of conversations with the serial killer in a book just out, Through the Lens of a Monster.
I never thought I would get enough information to write a book. It was always about, and always will be about, the victims' families.
So it all caught up to him in the end. Everything. Even though he is already facing life, he's like, what more can I do? Like, what info you guys want to get from me? Well, how is it going to benefit me? And he keeps denying everything. But at the end, these investigations still caught up to him. And now he's like 91 years old. He's living his last days. He's sentenced to death row. I mean, what else can they sentence him to? And he wanted his fucking convictions overruled. Like, it's not going to happen, buddy. You did what you did, and God doesn't forgive on that. So, I mean, God will forgive you, but your physical life is going to be, you're sentenced to death, buddy. So, it's crazy. And this is how he ended. That's Joseph Naso. And William Noguera actually benefited the most from this situation. And it's good. He got closure for his families, and he did what's right. He actually did what he wanted to do, and he went through a lot, 42 years in jail, but I mean, shit, you're out. I mean, what else do you want? That's crazy.
I never thought I would get enough information to write a book. It was always about, and always will be about, the victims' families.